Hey everybody, movie review next door here, and sorry for no video for Heartbreakers. I was going through some real tough shit last night. Um, I kind of also just don't want to do it because I just want people to go off that review and be like, oh, I'm intrigued. But for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Probably no one's gonna know what this is, but tonight, well, it's 3:03 a.m., so my clock is fucked up. Twisted from 2004, starring Ashley Judd, Samuel L. Jackson, Andy Garcia, and David Strahan. So this is a mystery thriller. I'll just read off the summary. Recently promoted and transferred to the Homicide Division, Inspector Jessica Shepard feels pressure to prove herself, and what better way than by solving San Francisco's latest murder. However, as Shepard and her partner Mike Del Marco soon discovered, the victim shared a romantic connection to her. As more of Shepard's ex-lovers turn up dead, her mind starts to become unstable, and she begins to wonder if she could be the very killer she's trying to track down. Very intriguing premise, but as you can see with the lighting, no, I wasn't a big fan of this. Now it is a 5 out of 10, which for me means missed potential. Very missed potential. I don't like the film. There are parts about it that I think are fine, but nothing really goes above either not good or mediocre, sadly. And with a cast like that, you'd expect a better film, but that's not really what you get here. Let me just go through the frickin' cast. Ashley Judd is Jessica Shepard, who is a homicide detective. I don't like Ashley Judd in these types of roles. I feel she's more at home in a rom-com or a drama or just a normal thriller where she's like a stay-at-home mom or something. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I've never been a big fan of Ashley Judd as an actress. I'm not really a fan of a lot of her opinions on things. But like in this role, it feels like they were like, okay, cut her hair short, she'll look boyish enough, so it'll work. It doesn't really work for me. Her acting came off as very ham-fisted, very forced. There's a deleted scene that I can see why it was deleted. She was terrible in it. Samuel Jackson, he's the second billed star of this film. And he's probably only in it for at the most 12 minutes. In a film that's an hour and 37 minutes. At the most, he's in it for 12 minutes. Probably more like 8 or 9. But, like, if this character is so important to this film, he probably should have been in it a bit more. Andy Garcia as Mike DeMarco. Oh boy. I've liked Andy Garcia in films. I liked him in Godfather Part 3. And Godfather Part 3 is my favorite of the trilogy. I don't need to prove myself. Maybe in the future I'll do videos on them, but they are long movies. But yeah, Andy Garcia here, there are times where he's okay, and there are times where I swear to God he's drunk. And I don't mean that as like something on the actor, on him. He just seems drunk. He seems like he doesn't know what he's doing, and it just feels very, weird. And David Strahan as Dr. Melvin Frank. It's kind of a thankless role, to be honest. I hate to say it like that, but it is kind of one. There's not much to say about his character. He's just a therapist at the station, so he's in those kinds of scenes. He's nothing really that stands out about him. I will give special props to Karen Manheim as Lisa, who's in the forensics lab. I've always liked Karen Manheim. I mean, big thing she was in Ghost Whisperer. In the seasons, I can't remember what season Aisha Hines left, but after that, Cameron Manheim took her place. Um, but I've always liked Cameron Manheim. I've always wanted to see her in a larger role. This isn't really a large role, but there's enough scenes to establish the character, and she's fun. Um, but yeah, I do hope at some point she gets her own like movie or show or something. But yeah, this is a mystery thriller. It's one of those where you're gonna have red herrings. You're gonna have twists, turns. Ugh. That's one of the big issues with this. There's so many red herrings. Way too many. Because it's like, oh, maybe it's this guy. Maybe it's that guy. Maybe it's that guy. And there are plenty of scenes that just kind of happen and have no consequences. Like, say, there's a boyfriend character or an ex-boyfriend character of Ashley Judd's character, and he just kind of bumps into the movie every so often. I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. He kind of just comes into the movie at random and like breaks into her apartment multiple times, and he's acting really creepy, and then it's like, and then she like passes out, and there's like nothing that comes of it. Really, it's kind of just a thing that happens. That's what this movie is. Things happening. Because not a lot of stuff in this film has to do with the twist. Not a lot of it has to do with building up to the twist. Because they're building up multiple twists that don't turn into twists, if that makes any sense. They're building up things that are supposed to be clues as to who did these things. And they're such minute things that no one would pick them up. And even the things that, oh my god, just, I'm not going to spoil, well, maybe in a little bit, but I'll put a spoiler, I'll say spoiler warning, and put up the DVD case when I'm going to it. But like, given who the killer is, it's kind of obvious, but the reasoning makes no sense. It's really... Let me just get the pros and cons out of the way so I can get to the spoiler. Because it's really hard to talk about this movie without talking about the spoiler. Pros: Ashley Judd's okay. Samuel Jackson's okay. The film looks... well, no. The soundtrack by Mark Isham, or the score by Mark Isham, is not bad at all. It's fine. It had some catchy beats to it. Cameron Manheim being one. Cons: the film looks cheap. It looks very flatly shot, flatly lit. This cost $50 million to make, and it looks... I mean, fucking Angel Has Fallen costed $40 million, and it looks miles better than this. Say what you will about the quality of that film. I like that film quite a bit. It looks better than this. Like, in every aspect. So I'm guessing, like, I don't know, fucking 20 million went to Ashley Judd or something, because it feels like maybe $1 million went to, like, the production of the film. I think Ashley Judd is severely miscast in this role. I think Andy Garcia isn't good for most of it. Let me just get to the spoiler. So, spoiler, major spoiler, in 3, 2, 1. The killer gets revealed at the end when they're trying to say that Andy Garcia's character is the killer. Like Samuel Jackson and Ashley Judd find Andy Garcia, and Samuel Jackson has her convinced at this point that it's Andy Garcia because he was creeping onto her. And then when they get there, she starts noticing that Jackson is planting shit on him, and she realizes that it's him. And the reason he has been killing off the guys that she's been sleeping with is because Samuel Jackson lied about her father committing suicide after 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 the story that his character has been telling Ashley Judd's character the entire movie is that, or around the movie, has been that the mother was sleeping around, her mother was sleeping around, and then the father caught her, killed her, and then killed himself. And that's why Ashley Judd's character is so fucked up. What actually was happening was that Samuel Jackson killed off her lover, her, and then killed her father so that he could protect Ashley Judd. And his way of protecting her now is murdering all of the guys that she sleeps with. So, and throughout the film, she's been led to think that she's crazy because she blacks out at night after drinking heavily. And it turns out he was roofieing her drinks. He was putting Rohypnol, or roofies, in her wine so that she passed out and woke up thinking that she had done it but just forgot because of alcoholism, which that doesn't always work. You don't always forget everything you do drinking alcohol, but what the fuck ever. This twist does not work. This twist doesn't work for many reasons. Samuel Jackson is barely in the fucking movie. He is in less than a fifth of the movie. You cannot have a big fucking twist like that. Like in White Noise, that minor fucking character that turned out to be the killer. That is a big reason why that movie did not work. It had interesting subject matter, talking about EVPs and all that. But then it wasted on that stupid fucking twist and wasting Michael Keaton giving a pretty damn good performance for how shit of a movie that was. And Deborah Kara Unger was good in it too. Like, sorry. That'll be another day. I'll watch those movies. But here, it does not work because Samuel Jackson's not in the movie enough, one. Two, I'm supposed to believe that Andy Garcia knew anything about her boyfriends, and because we barely know him as a character, and I'm also supposed to buy him falling in love with her, which makes no fucking sense. Because every time he's around her, he's creeping on her. Like the time where she's like falling asleep, they never explain why she fell asleep in front of him and why he like pulls out a gun and then it cuts to the next day, and it's like, why did he pull out the gun? It's one of those movies where people do things that make no fucking sense so that you can have a mystery. The boyfriend keeps coming in. He breaks through the glass to get to her while she's about to pass out. Nothing happens of it. She wakes up with him dead next to her. That makes no sense. It makes zero sense. What did he do? You cut to black, and she wakes up with him dead next to her. I understand it's supposed to be to incriminate her and trick the audience into thinking she's the killer. And this film has a very big overarching theme about chauvinistic men. Literally, like every male character except supposedly Andy Garcia is chauvinistic or anti-women. And they did not approach that well at all. It's very childish, actually. Titus Welliver's character is literally just, oh, we shouldn't believe you because you're a woman. And it's doing what Hannibal the movie did with Julianne Moore as Clarice. And it's so unsubtle and it just does not work. It does not work, especially when you cast Ashley Judd in the role, who is not one of the most imposing looking women. But yeah, just the twist, like I wasn't like bored with the film. It's just that I was more baffled that more wasn't happening. And this film looks cheap. Why does it look so cheap? It was made for 50 million. And this director, Philip Kaufman, the director of this. What else he did? He did Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Rising Sun, which it's a fine movie. But like The Right Stuff, like The Wanderers, he's done great films. And he did this. I don't know what this. My thoughts were that the film was gonna have no real ending because it was like recut or something, but the deleted scenes don't really add much to it. There's a couple of deleted scenes. There's like a deleted scene where Samuel Jackson's character says like, "You're just like your dad," or something like that, which it wouldn't have been like subtle, but it would have added a bit to making anyone actually guess about his character for any real reason. And there's a scene between her and Andy Garcia on a boat, which that was a fun scene, but it does drag on a bit. It's a bit too long of a scene. But yeah, just I'd like to see something with this type of premise done well. I hate seeing films cool premises like this getting thrown away. I hate that. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this film. It's I guess if you're curious, it's not that long. It's an hour and 37 minutes. Even if you go in for the acting isn't all that good. I just don't know what else to say about this. These reviews too. A snappy, sexy thriller. The whole thing about her like sleeping around, like, yeah, there's one like okay sex scene. It's not like super sexy. It's not like fucking You wanna know what's a snappy, sexy thriller? Unfaithful, directed by Adrian Lynn, with um, Richard Gere, Diane Lane, and Olivia Martinez. That is a sexy thriller. It's a fantastic thriller. I have a really hard time deciding between it and Fatal Attraction for Adrian Lynn's best film that I've seen so far. But like, I love Unfaithful. That's a lot sexier, better made, better looking, better acted. Diane Lane deserved a fucking Oscar for that film. Richard Gere was good too, but I that was really Diane Lane's film. But like, yeah, this film, it does feel like a film that is a bit late to the train. It was kind of like one of those 90s erotic thrillers that just came out in 2004. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. That's all I can say. It doesn't work. It's watchable, I guess, but I I don't know. It's just kind of a train wreck. Uh it's not like offensively bad. It's got a cool premise that should have been utilized more. Needed better acting. It needed the good actor Samuel Jackson to be in it more. Yeah, that's about all I can say. But yeah, if you like this review, put in a comment down below, like the video, subscribe, turn on the bell, whatever, blah blah blah. Movie Review Next Door, out.